And I'm like, dog, who needs this shit? Can you imagine waking up to that every morning and sitting there with a cup of coffee and going, you leave the house all fucking, you're ready to do January 6th. You're ready to go to the fucking jump the fence and start stabbing fucking everybody.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's how they get you all crazy and shit. They gave people too much information that we can't comprehend, and it's all fucking wrong. And then we try to make a hypothesis, and that's how you lose your mind.
Right.
Next thing you know, you got a white jacket on. There's people surrounding you. They got your shoelaces off and shit.
Or you'll end up in jail.
Yeah, or both.
It's
it's not a good situation. I don't want to lose my mind. I came close. I don't ever want to be there again, dog.
Did it take you a while to come back?
Yeah, it did. It was fucking crazy, Lee. I had no memory for a while. And it was a lot of things. It was the Xanax, the 3,000 milligrams a day, the anxiety, the weed, 2 podcasts a week, a theater a week, a lot of writing, a lot of process, It just stacked up one day. And it was like, fuck, I love comedy. I just went cold for 7 months. And then when I got on stage that first time with Rich Voss and Florentine, I was like, it ain't going to work. It wasn't ready. It wasn't even, I kept getting on stage and the processing was horrible. It was horrible. It took me about 1.5 years.
Fuck. I was talking about with like your ex-wife, but you think that was
my ex-wife?
But let
me tell you, let's be honest with each other here. The ex-wife situation, that anger, started in about 93. And I'm not going to lie to you. It went till about 2000 or 2001. That was part of me getting funnier, was losing a little bit of that anger.
And when were you the angriest? Like, when were you going through what you were talking about earlier?
96 was when the bottom fell out on me. I could feel it. I was arguing. 93, I was fucking hot. In 93, I came home for maybe a year to do comedy, live with George. George was in his own world, and I got maybe into 5 altercations. And 4 of them were with friends. Like, friends. So when I went home, I was like, something's not right. And I calmed myself down. I got a job. I got into a comedy schedule. And then within 6 months, she got my blood pressure back on. And that went from 93, Christmas of 94, Christmas of 93 was not good. It was not good, Lee. But the only thing that was taking me out of that tunnel was that at that point, while I was going deep down, my comedy was going up. The only thing I could focus on at that time was writing jokes and getting on stage. Thank God. Somebody else would, trust me, there was a lot of nights when I said, you know what? I'm going to go home. I'm going to get a gram of Coke, a bottle of Fat Tire, and I'm going to play Russian roulette. But I couldn't. I was like, I can't let these people win. So in hindsight, that anger that I had, I fueled it. And now I could tell you, I knew what I was doing. No, I didn't. At one point, all that anger, I had to do something with it. Yeah, you could hit the bag. Yeah, you could lift weights, but it became my energy for comedy.
But you kind of use it now because you like to get annoyed before you go on stage.
But it all started then.
That's crazy.
There was a certain night in 96 that somebody had a camera. And I was like, there were 16 people he put up. And I was like maybe number 14. I had maybe $4. I started the day with like $300. Now, if you know anything about me on that time, if I had $300, that was equivalent to somebody having fucking $8,000 today.
Right.
Like $300 at one time. That was huge for me. That was a gram of Coke, a cheeseburger, a new shirt, you know. And I got tangled up with my girlfriend, and next thing you know, I had $4. She said I owed her $200 for a phone bill, and then 2 hours later, she threw me out. So here I am at this fucking thing. I got $4. I got nowhere to sleep tonight. I got to ask Josh Wolf if I could sleep in his fucking trailer or whatever the fuck he had at that time. And I was so hot that I went up on stage. And that's the first time I started firing. Until then, I was very punchline, boom, punchline, talk to the audience. That was the first time I started firing. And when I got off, some guy came up to me and goes, I taped that. And I had it for a long time, that tape. Yeah. Who knows what happened to it?
And were you doing jokes, or were you talking about what you were mad about?
I was talking about what I was mad about.
Fuck, okay.
And one of the jokes I got from that night was a really corny joke. I said, you got a bunch of dollar bills. No. You're sitting there, you get lap dances, you're in love with her, she's in love with you, then you run out of dollar bills. That was one of the jokes from that night, which is, you know, stupid. And there was something else I said that night that I took that, and I said that for about a year. Oh, at that time, that was the first time I had ever seen a woman with a tampon. Even though I was married and I lived with a girl before, this was the first woman I dated that would walk around the apartment, and I'd be sitting there high, and a little string would be walking out of a monkey, right? And I would sit there every night like, what the fuck? I never had the balls to ask because I didn't want to know. You know, I was 30 at the time.
Wait, you had no idea what it was?
I knew what it was. Like, I grew up on Kotex. You know, like women had Kotex, and they talked about it. Now this chick is walking around with a little sticker, a little fuse, a monkey, right? And I'd sit there every night like, there's a joke here. And I never said it till that night. I was so hot. I go, this bitch walks around the fucking apartment with that little fuse sticking out. I don't know whether to pull it or light it. And then I go, so I lit it.
Hysterical. That's a great joke.
That was how hot I was. 2 of those jokes. That was Felipe Esparza's favorite joke when I moved to LA. Turn off your TVs, run for your lives. It's over. They didn't put you on this planet just to give up. If Uncle Joey could do it, I could fucking rule the world. That's what you gotta be thinking. Welcome back to church, motherfucker!